For the first time in over 50 years, human beings are preparing to fly entirely around the far side of the moon. No living astronaut has ever seen this side of the lunar surface with their own eyes. The last time humans pushed past low Earth orbit was during the Apollo program, more than 5 decades ago. After a half-century of staying close to home, this mission forces us to confront the engineering reality of leaving our planetary safe zone. Since the 1970s, human spaceflight has been restricted to the International Space Station, circling Earth a few hundred miles above the surface. Artemis II changes the scale entirely. The mission path loops hundreds of thousands of miles away, reaching far behind the moon. While in lunar orbit, they will be farther from Earth than the space station travels in an entire year. Reaching that distance requires the most powerful rocket NASA has ever flown. Inside the Orion spacecraft, 4 astronauts will strap in to manage the systems for this deep space transit. At 250,000 miles from home, there is no fast rescue option and no quick trip back if a system fails. The success of the mission relies on the performance of the hardware and the nerve of the crew. After launch, Orion will spend days crossing the 250,000 miles required to reach the lunar environment. The spacecraft will swing around the side of the moon that never faces Earth, a gray, cratered surface lit by sunlight with no atmosphere. This diagram illustrates the physical blackout. As the capsule moves behind the moon, the lunar mass blocks all radio communication signals from Earth. For a stretch of the flight, the crew will work in total silence, cut off from the data streams and voices of mission control. This communication gap creates a state of total mechanical isolation, making the crew the most self-reliant humans in existence for that period of the mission. While NASA trains astronauts for spacecraft operation, it is harder to prepare for the psychological weight of the journey. From the far side of the moon, they will watch the Earth shrink to the size of a small, fragile marble suspended in nothing. They will be farther from every other living human being than anyone in modern memory. Apollo astronauts described this perspective, seeing our planet as a blue dot in a vast void, as a shift that stays with you for the rest of your life. Surviving deep space requires the crew to endure this isolation, just as it requires the life support hardware to function flawlessly. This flight serves as the dress rehearsal for the landing missions that follow. Validating the hardware and human endurance on this route clears the path for Artemis III. The specific goal of that next mission is to return astronauts to the lunar surface. This topographical map identifies the landing zone, the rugged and unexplored lunar South Pole. Scientists are targeting these deep crater interiors near the 80-degree south mark, where frozen water may be trapped in permanent shadow. Utilizing those water resources would allow for a longer, more sustainable human presence on the moon. The isolation test of Artemis II is the necessary step required before boots hit the ground for Artemis III. The 4 crew members preparing for this flight will be the first to look at the far side in person since 1972. These same astronauts are training right now to be the ones who take those first steps back on the surface. The return to the moon is no longer a plan for the future. The gears are already in motion.